Hey team, it's Mr. Z, and today we're going to continue talking the talk and basically going over how transformations affect even and odd functions. Alright, if a translation is performed on an odd function to produce g of x, will the g of x be odd still? And we're going to go ahead and look at this function. So remember, odd functions are symmetrical when you reflect them up over the x-axis and the y-axis. This can be represented as a negative in front, affecting the output, and a negative affecting the input. This is going to be two different reflections. Now the idea is that if I go ahead and decide I'm going to move my function, and I'm going to move it to the left, it's going to lose its symmetry. If I move it to the right, it's going to lose its symmetry. So unfortunately, translations, even though dilations don't affect it, it's going to turn out to be a fake odd function. It's going to be never. This is going to be the situation where it's neither, but looks like an odd. There is an extra part of our definition. Remember, odd functions have symmetry when reflected over the x and y-axis. This is saying this. Now, let's look at an even function. If we do a translation with an even function, the idea is that we want it to be symmetrical. So notice, if I move it up, it's symmetrical. If I move it down, it's symmetrical. If I move it to the left, it's still symmetrical, but it's no longer at the origin. We want the symmetry to be about the y-axis. So this is going to be a sometimes, and that's because there's a situation when it goes up or down, it's still even, but when you go left or right, it loses symmetry with the y-axis. So this is reviewed just some transformations in general. Remember, this is all talk to talk. Basically, odd and evens have a couple of definitions attached to it. It's all about end behavior. We're talking about the exponents of power functions. And then the idea is that there is this part about symmetry. So when you're organizing your thoughts, just remember, power functions. When it's x to a number. When n is odd, and when n is even. They're going to have opposite end behavior. Same end behavior. The next part is about symmetry. Odds are symmetric about the y-axis and x-axis. When it's even, it's symmetric about the y-axis.